My name is Rensho. Many years ago, I lived as a humble monk in a remote monastery high in the mountains. What I'm about to tell you is something I kept secret for most of my life. Had it happened to someone else, I doubt I would have believed a single word of it. One autumn morning, the abbot sent me to a village beyond the mountains. An elderly monk had fallen ill, and I was tasked with bringing back medicine and delivering a message. It should have been a simple journey, but by the time I finished my errands and left the village, the sun was already sinking behind the distant peaks. I hurried along the mountain path, hoping to reach the monastery before nightfall. I failed. Darkness arrived quickly. The forest swallowed the last traces of daylight, and soon I found myself walking beneath a canopy of black trees. The wind whispered through the branches, and every shadow seemed to move just beyond the edge of my vision. I told myself it was only my imagination. Then I saw a light, a faint glow flickering between the trees. Relieved, I followed it. A few minutes later, I came upon two small houses standing alone in a clearing. They were old-fashioned structures with wooden frames and thin paper walls. Only one of them was lit from within. I approached carefully and slid the door open. The room was empty. Inside were only a few woven mats and a small oil lamp. With nowhere else to go, I decided to wait there until morning. I sat cross-legged on the floor and began quietly reciting my evening prayers. Because the walls were made of paper, I could clearly see the silhouettes in the neighboring house. There were two people inside, a young woman and a man. From their conversation, I assumed they were brother and sister. At first, I paid little attention to them. Then I heard the woman's voice. Something about it made me uneasy.
I can't bear it any longer.
You have to.
The boy replied. A long silence followed. Then she spoke again.
No, it's too late.
The boy hesitated.
How much longer?
Not long.
Her voice trembled. Then she said something that froze my blood.
If I don't find something tonight, I'll have to eat you.
I stopped breathing. Surely I had misunderstood. But the boy sounded neither shocked nor frightened. Instead, he sounded tired, as though this conversation had happened many times before.
Please,
He said quietly.
try to wait a little longer.
The silence that followed felt endless. Finally, the woman answered.
I've already been waiting for 3 days.
After that, neither of them spoke. A chill crawled down my spine. It wasn't merely what she had said. It was the way she had said it. Not like a hungry person. Not like someone joking. Something else. Something wrong. Then I heard the sound of a door sliding open. Slow footsteps emerged from the neighboring house. One step, then another, and another. They were coming toward me. The door of my room slowly slid aside. The footsteps entered. At that moment, I closed my eyes and began reciting a prayer. Softly, steadily, without stopping, the footsteps crossed the room, then stopped directly in front of me. I could feel a presence standing only inches away. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might betray me. Still, I continued praying. Then I heard her voice, very close.
No,
A pause.
I saw him.
Another pause.
A monk came in here.
The voice no longer sounded entirely human. It was deeper now, rougher, like an animal trying to imitate human speech.
I can smell him.
Sweat rolled down my face. Yet I did not stop praying, not even for a second. Then curiosity overcame me, only for a moment, only for the briefest glance. I opened my eyes and immediately wished I hadn't. The thing standing before me was no longer a woman. Perhaps it never had been. Its body was unnaturally tall and thin. Its arms hung so low that its fingers nearly touched the floor. Long strands of black hair covered most of its face. Beneath them stared two enormous eyes, far too large, far too wide, eyes that looked hungry. Its mouth stretched across its face in a grotesque grin. Rows of yellow teeth glistened in the lamplight. Thin strands of saliva dripped onto the wooden floor. Its skin was gray and stretched tightly over sharp bones. But the most terrifying thing was not its appearance. It was the fact that it was staring directly at me, at the exact place where I sat, and yet it could not see me. Somehow, the prayer concealed me from its gaze. I shut my eyes immediately and continued reciting. The creature remained inside the room. Minutes passed, perhaps longer. Sometimes I heard its breathing beside my ear. Sometimes I heard its claws scraping softly across the floor. Then everything became silent. A low growl echoed through the room, a frustrated sound. The footsteps retreated. The door slid open, then closed once more. Still, I remained where I was, praying, waiting, listening. Only when I was certain it had gone did I finally stand. I did not dare leave through the door. Instead, I opened a window and climbed outside. Then I ran. All through the night, I walked the forest path while reciting prayers without pause. More than once, I thought I heard footsteps following behind me. More than once, I felt eyes watching from the darkness between the trees. But I never turned around. Not once. I simply kept walking and praying, walking and praying, until the first rays of dawn appeared over the mountains. Only then did the feeling finally leave me. A short while later, the gates of the monastery came into view. I had survived. Yet even now, after all these years, I sometimes find myself wondering about that brother, and whether his sister truly found something else to satisfy her hunger that night. My name is Alex. I've never believed in the supernatural, not until that night. It was winter, and I was working late as a driver, taking trips between small villages along a forest road. The route was usually quiet, almost empty, especially after midnight. That night, the weather was getting worse. Snow was falling heavily, and the headlights could barely cut through the white wall in front of me. At some point, I saw a figure on the roadside, a woman. She was standing perfectly still in the snow, wearing a long white coat. No waving, no sign asking for help, just standing there, facing the road. I slowed down. Then, against my better judgment, I stopped. She opened the back door and got into the car without saying a word. I asked her where she needed to go. She gave me the name of a village further down the road, about 20 kilometers away. Her voice was calm, too calm. The entire ride, she stayed silent. At first, I tried to make small talk, but she only answered in short phrases. Then, I noticed something strange. In the rearview mirror, I could see her clearly, her face, her eyes, her expression. But whenever I turned around, there was nothing there. It was as if she avoided being seen directly. The air inside the car started to feel colder. At first, I thought it was just the snow outside, but the cold kept getting stronger. I turned up the heat. It didn't help. By the time we were close to the village, she finally spoke again.
You are a good person.
I let out a short laugh. Why do you say that? She didn't answer immediately. Then she said,
Because you stopped.
Something about her tone made me uneasy. As we entered the village, I asked where exactly I should drop her off. No response. I looked into the mirror. The back seat was empty. I slammed on the brakes. I turned around. Nothing. The doors were still locked from the inside, but no one was there. The car was still running. I stepped out into the snow and checked around. No footprints. Nothing at all. As if no one had ever been in the car. I didn't tell anyone that night. I tried to forget it. A few days later, I stopped by a small shop in the area. On the wall, there were old photos of local residents. And then I saw her. The same face, the same white coat. I asked the shopkeeper who she was. She looked at me strangely.
Are you not from here?
No.
She's well known.
Who is she? The woman sighed.
She froze to death on that road 5 years ago during a snowstorm. People kept driving past her.
I felt my throat tighten. What was her name? She told me. The exact same name the woman in my car had given me. I left the shop without another word. I never drove that road at night again. But sometimes I still dream about it. I'm driving through the snowstorm, and on the roadside, she is standing there again. Only this time, she is not alone. There are others beside her. Men, women, children, all of them watching the passing headlights, waiting to see who will stop next. Thank you for listening. Check your locks, turn off the lights, and sleep well, if you can.